Blessings. Welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. I got to tell you, I'm really excited about today's because even though we read Psalm 4, 12, 20, 25, 32, and 38, Psalm 20, when I got to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to spend the entire time talking about this one psalm. So if you saw something else that you want to talk about, just email me, chuck@fcpo.org. But first, I'm going to read Psalm 20. It says, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of God, the God of Jacob, set you securely on high. May he send you help from the sanctuary and support you from Zion. May he remember all of your meal offerings and find your burnt offerings acceptable. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your counsel. We sing for joy over your victory, and in the name of our God we will set our banners. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. Know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some boast in chariots and some in horses, but we will boast in the name of the Lord our God. They have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stood upright. Save, O Lord. May the King answer us in the day we call." This is an FCPO prayer, an FCPO psalm, if you will. And I want to tell you a personal story and kind of explain why I think this. First off, in verse 1, it says, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble." Man, we get in some sticky situations, some dangerous situations on the job, and we have to rely on God to protect us and save us in some of these situations. So this is a rescue psalm for us, but this is not just speaking about being in physical danger on the job. It's about spiritual danger, and especially for our brothers and sisters in law enforcement who don't know Christ yet. Verse 2, it's kind of a dispatch from heaven itself. When you call out to God in verse 1, ask him for a rescue, verse 2, he dispatches Christian officers. It says, "And may he send you help from the sanctuary and support you from Zion." Man, headquarters, here's your cry for help, and boom, sends it. Verse 4, I'm going to tell you a quick story. And let me read this verse. "May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill your counsel those surrounding you to speak into your life." Many years ago, I just got this urge, this desire in my heart, and I prayed to God to send me somebody to mentor. Not anybody specific, just send me whoever he wanted. Well, it just so happens that the local university, I have a friend who's a professor there that had a student, and this professor teaches in the criminal justice department, had a criminal justice student ask if there were any law enforcement people that could sit down and talk with him about his future and decisions he wanted to make as far as going into law enforcement. Long story short, we started meeting, and we met for 2 years, and we started with just a mentorship, which grew into a friendship and a relationship where I was able to speak into this person's life and share Christ with him and explain why Christ is so important in this job and how I personally can't do this job or see how anybody could without Christ in their life. He is a deputy sheriff in South Texas now. Um, uh, anyway, I had that desire that God put in my heart. And when my desire matched up with his desires, when my will matched up with his will, he answered that prayer and gave me somebody. And it turned out, obviously, incredibly. But this was the rescue. And then going into verse 5, this is the FCPO part of it. And I can tell you, as a member of FCPO for many, many years, that anytime we have a group in some part of the country call in and ask to be chartered, and we can go and we can help them set up a brand new chapter where they can minister to other law enforcement officers, not just in their own agency, but in their county and their town. If they've got hospital districts with law enforcement, or just highway patrol or federal agents, that they would reach out and minister to law enforcement officers in their entire region. So when we get requests for charters, when we get new officers who join on an individual level, we pray for them and we're excited for them. But most importantly, when we hear of a new brother or sister coming to know Jesus Christ, we celebrate. Our celebration doesn't come anywhere near the celebration of the angels in heaven when a new believer comes to Christ, but we do. We celebrate. So this chapter from verses 1 through 9, if you look at it from a law enforcement perspective and how Christian law enforcement officers will come in and rescue each other and try and build each other up, share the knowledge of Jesus Christ with each other so we can help them come to a decision to accept Christ in their life and to live for Him, this verse, this chapter is ours. I love it. Anyway, I hope you love it too. And if you didn't get a chance to read it, go back and read it, look at it, and let me know what you think. Tomorrow's read, Psalm 42. Now, there's a bunch, but they're short. Psalm 42, 53, 58, 81, 101, 111, 130 and 31, 140, and 146. That's going to be at the end of this video if you need to write these down. Hopefully you should already have the plan, but read, come back tomorrow, and let's see what law enforcement takeaways we get from it. So you guys be safe.